Dearest one, something remarkable, something destined to reshape your life is stirring in the heavens above. It stands ready to surge into your world like a mighty river, breaking its barriers, prepared to immerse your days in divine favor. A shift carefully orchestrated by God's own hand is fast approaching, and it will arrive through the most unlikely channel, a stranger, a person of influence, someone you've never known who will walk into your life as a vessel of the Almighty's mercy. But why you? Why now? What have you done to arrive at the edge of this life-altering moment? Listen intently, my friend, because before this message ends, the Spirit will reveal the answer to your heart, and you will understand, clear as day, why you are stepping into a season of sacred reward, a time when God's goodness will overflow into your life like a wave that cannot be stopped. Before we continue, I invite you to pause, embrace this sacred moment, and let this word sink deep into your spirit. If this speaks to you, declare it with faith in the comments. I am ready to receive God's promise for my life. The world may have dismissed you, walked past you, or pushed you aside. But remember this truth. Heaven's eyes have never turned away from you. While others hurried by unaware of your pain, God never looked away. His heart has been deeply attuned to every step of your journey. He noticed every quiet act of kindness, those moments you gave without applause, when no one was watching. He saw each sacrifice made in silence, the offerings of love hidden in the shadows, and those tears you cried alone in the stillness of the night while the world lay sleeping. Not a single one was forgotten. Nothing has been overlooked, nothing wasted. None of it was visible to the world. In the quiet corners of life, those hidden moments when you believed your efforts had been overlooked, God was watching. He was keeping record, inscribing your story in His book of remembrance, preparing a blessing so immense it will leave you speechless. Oh, precious soul, can you truly grasp this sacred reality? The eyes of the Almighty have never turned away, not for a single moment. He has watched over you with a love so deep, so tender, it catches every detail of your journey. When your hands were empty, when your resources ran low, when you had little to give yet still chose to pour out with generosity, God saw you. His heart was stirred by your selflessness, and when you lifted someone weary, offering kindness without expecting thanks, not even a whisper, He was there, noting every act of compassion. When the easy road called out, offering shortcuts that would have compromised your character, you didn't give in. You chose the harder way, the righteous path, and you stood firm in your faith even when it cost you. God was watching. He recorded every step, every decision, every quiet sacrifice in His eternal book of remembrance. He heard every whispered prayer spoken in the darkness, and every moment you chose to trust Him while the winds howled and the storm raged around you. He was there, taking note, holding you close. Every time you pressed forward, even when the weight you carried felt unbearable, God was there. He was weaving those moments into a breathtaking tapestry of divine reward. A masterpiece of blessing is now unfolding, ready to enter your life, with a brilliance so glorious it may just leave you breathless. The Bible reminds us in Galatians 6:9, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest, if we do not give up." Oh, beloved, that time has come. The season of your harvest is here, breaking forth with abundance so rich, so overflowing, it will surpass your boldest prayers. Every seed of faith you planted, every hidden tear you shed, every quiet act of obedience you offered when no one seemed to notice, God has gathered them all, And now He is preparing to pour out a blessing so deep, so radiant, so life-changing, it will become a living testimony of His unfailing faithfulness. As Hebrews 6:10 promises, God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown Him as you helped His people and continue to help them. Your labor was never in vain. Your faithfulness has never gone unseen. Your harvest is on its way, radiant, undeniable, and full of glory. This moment, this divine turning point in your life, it's no accident. It's not luck. It's not chance. This is the intentional sovereign work of a God who has never broken a single promise. Even now, a stranger, someone blessed with abundance, carrying influence and resources beyond what you could ever imagine, is being divinely directed by the hand of the Almighty to intersect with your life. Not by coincidence, but by divine appointment, set in motion in the courts of heaven, long before you even knew how to pray for such a thing. This is heaven's reply to your unshakable faith. God's answer to every prayer you whispered in the quiet of your soul, to every cry of the heart, when you felt invisible, to every moment you held on to hope when everything around you told you to let go. Heaven doesn't operate by the world's economy. It moves by a divine system where faithfulness is the currency and God Himself is the guarantor. As Psalm 23:5 declares, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows." And your cup, dear one, is about to overflow so abundantly, so undeniably, that no force on earth, no scheme of man, and no power of darkness will be able to stop it. Consider the weight of this truth. God saw every moment you chose to honor Him, even when it came at a great cost. When you gave even while lacking, when you forgave the ones who hurt you, when you stood firm for truth, even as the world mocked your convictions. He saw you in the midnight hour when doubt crept in, and the future looked dim. Still, you lifted your voice in prayer, choosing to trust His goodness. He watched as you served without recognition, loved without reward, endured rejection, heartbreak, and loss, yet held tightly to His promises. And now the God who never sleeps, the God who never forgets, is moving to honor that faithfulness with a blessing so profound it will shift the ground beneath your feet and launch you into a new season of purpose, provision, and divine favor. This stranger, this vessel of God's blessing, isn't arriving by chance. They're being sent by divine design, by the precise orchestration of a God who orders the steps of the righteous. Their arrival is a sign, a marker of heaven's faithfulness, a fulfillment of every quiet prayer you dared to whisper in the secret places of your heart, or as Deuteronomy 28:2 promises, all these blessings will come on you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. Your obedience prepared the way. Your trust unlocked the door. What's coming will transform your life and ripple out to bless those around you. So stand strong in faith, beloved. The God who has watched your every step is about to reveal His glory in a way so unmistakable, so undeniable, that it will leave no doubt. He is the God of promise, the God of power, the God who makes all things new. So lift your heart, dear one. Prepare to receive what He's been preparing just for you. Because this isn't just a blessing, it's a divine encounter, a moment that will mark your life forever, a living testament to His unshakable love and unwavering faithfulness. Now proclaim it with boldness. I am ready for the harvest God has promised. The one who brought you through the valley is now leading you to the mountaintop. And yes, your cup will overflow with His goodness now and forevermore. Oh, beloved child of God, can you truly grasp the depth of His love for you? The Almighty, whose eyes have never once turned away, has watched over your every step, every struggle, every quiet sacrifice with a tenderness that goes beyond human comprehension. And now your cup, dear friend, is about to overflow, not just with blessing, but with an abundance so extravagant, so undeniable, that it will spill over the very edges of your life. Uncontainable. Radiant, a living testament to the favor of the King of Kings. The God who sees you in the still moments, who knows the deepest cries of your heart, who walked beside you through every valley and every shadow, is preparing to unveil a miracle. One so magnificent, it will echo through your story and proclaim to the world a truth that cannot be shaken. The God you serve is faithful. He is mighty, and His promises never fail. As Psalm 23:5 proclaims, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows." And your overflow, dear one, is on its way, a downpour of divine goodness that will wash away every doubt and flood your life with His glory. So stand ready. Lift your eyes to the hills, just as Psalm 121 declares, "I lift my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth." Your help is not fashioned by human hands, nor does it come from the systems of this world. It flows from the one who spoke the stars into being, the Creator who holds time itself in His hands. This is your moment, your sacred season, your divine appointment with destiny. It's been orchestrated by the God who has never forgotten you, the one who has seen every tear, heard every whispered prayer, and honored every act of faith you offered when adversity tried to silence your hope. So now embrace this moment with unshakable faith. Cling to the hope that anchors your soul, and let your heart boldly declare, "I am ready for the blessing God has prepared for me." Because what's coming is not just a change, not just a quiet shift. It's a transformation so profound, a testimony so powerful, a miracle so undeniable, it will echo through your life and declare to all who witness it, the God you serve is the God of the impossible, the God who turns mourning into dancing, the God who makes all things new. Oh, precious soul, do you realize that every moment you felt unseen, every time you wondered if your pain went unnoticed, every hour you carried burdens so heavy they nearly broke your spirit, God was right there, closer than your next breath, quietly weaving together a divine moment of breakthrough, ready to burst into your life with power and purpose. Like the first rays of dawn piercing through a long and weary night, when you stood alone, when trials pressed against you like a heavy storm cloud, when the world seemed deaf to your cries, He was watching. His heart was moved by your quiet faith, and His hands were at work crafting a reward so intricate, so radiant, you'll stand in awe of His love. Every time you push through the pain, every moment you chose trust over fear, every prayer you whispered when hope felt distant, God collected each tear, as Psalm 56:8 promises, recording every act of faithfulness in His eternal book. And now He's preparing a miracle so vast, so breathtaking, it will surpass anything you've ever dreamed. When God honors your faithfulness, He does not move in small ways. He doesn't send ordinary blessings. No, He moves with power, with splendor that shakes the very foundation of your life. He pours out favor so abundant, it spills beyond the borders of your imagination. He's not leading you to a life of survival or spiritual mediocrity. Oh no. He's calling you to a summit of purpose, to a level of divine favor you never dared imagine. A destiny so bright, it shines like a beacon to all who see it, delivered through unexpected people, strangers guided by His very hand. Through surprising moments, twists of divine design that only the Almighty could orchestrate, God is preparing to shift your life in an instant from the shadows of hardship to the brilliance of His glory. As Isaiah 55:8-9 declares, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." His thoughts are higher, His plans are greater, and His blessings are about to overtake you. This is no coincidence, no fleeting moment of luck. It is the sovereign hand of a faithful God who never forgets His promises. The stranger crossing your path carrying favor, influence, and provision is not arriving by chance, but by the divine order of the One who guides the steps of the righteous. This is heaven's answer to your steadfast heart, its reply to every silent prayer you uttered in the stillness of your soul. Every cry, every seed of faith, they were all seen. And now they are being multiplied in God's perfect timing. As 2 Corinthians 9:39 quote, Satan returns, Al-8 proclaims, "And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work." Your abundance is on the horizon. Your season of overflow is here. And no force of darkness, no human resistance can stand in the way of what God has spoken over your life. So rise, beloved, with a heart full of faith and eyes fixed on the God who sees you. This is your divine moment. Step boldly into the promise He has prepared. Let your soul proclaim, "I am ready for the transformation God has ordained for my life." Because what's coming isn't just a shift, it's a revolution of grace, a testimony of His unmatched power, a miracle so profound it will ripple through your life, declaring to all, the God you serve is faithful beyond measure, mighty beyond compare, and true to every word He has ever spoken. Your cup is about to overflow, and the world will witness the glory of the King of Kings radiating through you. Oh, beloved, do you sense it? The stirring in your spirit, the whisper of heaven inviting you to step forward to receive the harvest. God has prepared for you in the hidden places of His heart. Are you ready, dear friend, to cross the threshold of your divine appointment, to embrace a moment so radiant, so extraordinary, that it will redefine the very course of your life? But listen closely. Before every great outpouring, before the windows of heaven open wide, there comes a test, a refining fire, not to crush you, but to reveal the strength God has forged within you, to show the depth of your faith and the beauty of your endurance. This is no accident. It is a holy filter, a sacred process lovingly designed by the Almighty to reveal who you truly are, the chosen one He has called you to be. You, child of God, have passed this test, perhaps without even realizing the weight of your victory. You stood firm when life pressed hard. When adversity howled and doubt threatened to shake your faith, you clung to God's promises. You trusted when all signs told you to quit. As Hebrews 11:6 reminds us, without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him. You sought Him with all your heart. You pursued Him through darkness. And now your reward is near. A harvest so rich, so overflowing, it will leave you breathless in awe of His faithfulness. Think back to the days when life struck you down, when rejection felt like icy wind against your soul, when doors slammed shut and dreams slipped through your hands like sand. The climb seemed too steep, the battle too fierce. And still you pressed on. You believed when the odds were stacked against you. When doubt hissed in your ear, you held on to hope. You guarded your integrity in hidden places. You refused to compromise even when shortcuts tempted you. You stood when the path was long, when despair tried to drag you down, and God saw it all. Every choice, every tear, every act of obedience, every ounce of resilience you've shown, every moment of patience, every heartbeat that pulsed with quiet trust in the God who never abandons His own. He saw it all. He saw you standing for what was right, even when it cost you dearly. When it meant walking alone, making silent sacrifices no one else would ever know. He saw you press forward through the pain. He watched when you lifted your hands in worship despite the weight of your burdens. He listened when you whispered prayers in the midnight hour, believing against all odds that He was near, even when answers felt distant. As Psalm 139:16 reminds us, "Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." Every step of your journey, every trial you endured, every single act of faith has been recorded in God's eternal book. And now He is turning the page. A new chapter is beginning, one written in breakthrough, overflowing with the radiance of His glory. This moment is no accident. It is the fulfillment of divine design, the reward for your faithfulness, the answer to every hidden prayer whispered from the depths of your soul. That stranger who's about to cross your path, bringing blessings beyond what you imagined, is not arriving by coincidence. They come by divine assignment, led by the sovereign hand of a God who orchestrates every detail of your life. As Galatians 6:7 declares, "A man reaps what he sows, and you, beloved, have sown faithfully seeds of obedience, of perseverance, of unshakable trust. Now the harvest is upon you, a bounty so abundant it will overflow into every area of your life, touching not just you, but everyone around you with unmistakable evidence of God's power. Your faithfulness has positioned you for a blessing. No force of darkness can stop, no scheme of man can derail. So stand ready, keep your heart open, and your spirit tuned to the voice of the Lord. Lift your eyes to the hills, for your help comes from the Maker of heaven and earth, who even now is moving mountains to fulfill His promise in your life. This is your divine appointment, your sacred season, your moment to step into the fullness of what God has prepared. Proclaim it boldly. I am ready for the breakthrough God has ordained for me. Because what's coming isn't just relief, it's transformation. A testimony so powerful, it will echo through your life and far beyond, declaring to all who witness it, "The God I serve is faithful, mighty, and true." Can you sense it? That holy orchestration unfolding behind the scenes, the intricate handiwork of the Almighty, guiding every step of your journey with flawless precision. He's been weaving a tapestry of grace that's about to unfurl with breathtaking splendor. This blessing, this sacred moment, is not some fleeting stroke of luck. It is the divine craftsmanship of a Creator who knows your name, who has counted every hair on your head, and who has walked with you through every storm. The one He's sending, blessed with influence, provision, and opportunity, is not arriving by chance, but by the sovereign will of the Almighty. This is not a coincidence, it's a holy acknowledgement, a radiant signpost declaring, you have passed the test. Every right decision you made when the wrong path seemed easier. Every seed of kindness you planted without thanks or applause. Every prayer spoken in the silence of night, it was all seen. It was all recorded. It was all treasured by the God who never overlooks his faithful ones. As Galatians 6:7 declares again, "Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows, and you, precious soul, have sown righteousness, seeds of love, of faith, of integrity in the harshest seasons. And now the harvest is here, not as a whisper, not as a trickle, but as a mighty, unstoppable flood of divine abundance. Every moment you honored God, every time you turned from temptation, every quiet act of obedience done in the shadows, he gathered them all. And now he's getting ready to pour it back into your life, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And now he is preparing to reward your faithfulness with a blessing so vast, so overflowing, it won't be contained by your own life alone. It will spill out, touching the lives around you with undeniable evidence of his glory. But listen closely, dear friend. There is a deeper truth you must hold on to, a divine revelation meant to ready your heart for what lies ahead. This blessing will not arrive in the way you expect. It will come as a divine surprise, so profound, so sudden, it will feel as though the very ground beneath your feet has shifted. It will unravel your expectations and rewrite the story of your life in one breathtaking moment. Because nothing in your journey has ever been random. Every detail, every encounter, every delay and detour has been part of a divine symphony, crafted note by the one who hangs the stars in place, commands the oceans with a word, and gently orders the steps of those he calls his own. As Psalm 37:23 declares, "The steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way." Your steps have not been random. They've been divinely ordered, your path carefully shaped, your journey aligned by the loving hand of God. Behind the scenes, he has been orchestrating every detail, setting the stage for a moment so powerful, so divine. It will echo through your life as a living testimony of his unfailing faithfulness, a radiant beacon of grace shining for all to see. Pause for a moment and let that truth settle in. Every time you stood firm in faith, every time you chose the narrow road when the wide path seemed easier, every whispered prayer when your hope was barely holding on, God was there. And he wasn't just watching. He was weaving each act of faith into a divine storyline that is now reaching its glorious crescendo. And soon a stranger will enter your life, not by accident, but by design. This person is a vessel of God's purpose, led by his Spirit to usher you into a new season, one marked by favor, provision, and divine destiny. As Deuteronomy 31 promises, the Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. God has already gone ahead of you, preparing this very moment, arranging every connection, aligning every step, ensuring that nothing is out of place in his perfect plan. This is not just a blessing, it's a divine shift, a sacred turning point, where the ordinary falls away and the extraordinary rises to take its place, where the impossible becomes possible, and the God who has seen you in the shadows now steps forward to flood your life with the brilliance of his glory. So lift your heart, raise your hands to the heavens, and declare with unshakable confidence, I am ready for the blessing God has ordained for me. This is your season. This is your moment, the turning point you've prayed for, when you finally step into the fullness of his promise and boldly walk into the destiny he's prepared for you. Don't let doubt sneak in. Don't let fear blur your vision, because the same God who carried you through the darkest nights is now preparing to shine his light upon you with a brilliance that will leave the world in awe. As Isaiah 61 proclaims, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Your light is rising, your moment is here, and the world will stand in wonder as it witnesses the faithfulness of the God you serve, the one who is mighty beyond measure, who keeps every promise, who transforms lives through his relentless love. So proclaim it again with every fiber of your being, "I am ready for the miracle God has prepared." Because the one who guided your every step, who saw your unwavering faith, who heard every prayer you whispered in the quiet, he is about to reveal his glory in a way that leaves no room for doubt. He is the God of the impossible, the God of breakthrough, the God who makes all things new. Stand ready because your harvest is breaking forth. And when it comes, it won't just bless your life. It will become a living testimony of his faithfulness. It will echo across your days and declare with power, the God you serve is true. My dear friend, even now, right in this very moment, something sacred is unfolding in the unseen realm. A divine connection is being woven by the hand of God. One so powerful, so precise, it will shift the entire course of your destiny. You don't need to chase opportunity. You don't need to pound on doors that feel sealed shut. You don't even need to strive in your own strength. Because when God moves, he does so with the steady hand of a master craftsman. Not in haste, not in chaos, but according to a perfect plan unfolding in his perfect time. Long before you ever dared to hope for this moment, God was already preparing someone, a stranger blessed with abundance, carrying resources, influence, and the key to unlock a new dimension of purpose in your life. They are being led to you not by coincidence, but by divine appointment, ordained by the one who holds the universe in his hands. But hear this clearly. It's not the stranger's wealth or influence that makes this moment sacred. It's the purpose behind their arrival that will stir your soul. They are not just a benefactor. They are a vessel in the hands of the Almighty, chosen to carry his blessing to you. While you were walking through trials, learning to trust in the wilderness of uncertainty, God was aligning their path with yours. He was working in places you couldn't see, in moments you never imagined. Think of Joseph languishing in a prison cell, never guessing that one quiet conversation with a cupbearer would lead him to Pharaoh's throne. Think of Ruth gathering leftover grain in a field, unaware that Boaz, her Redeemer, was about to walk into her story. Think of David tending sheep in obscurity, completely unaware that the prophet Samuel was on his way to anoint him king. Psalm 37:5 reminds us, "Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will act." He always provides a connection, a divine link positioned at just the right moment to launch his chosen ones into their next season. And now, beloved, it's your turn. Don't worry about the how or the when. Don't try to pry open doors that God hasn't yet unlocked. Because this divine connection isn't something you can force. It flows from his sovereign will. And perhaps, yes, you've felt hidden, toiling in the shadows, giving without return, working without visible reward. But take heart. He saw every moment. But hear this, beloved. Every step you've taken, every sacrifice you've made, every moment you chose faith over fear, it was preparing the soil of your life for this harvest. God has been working behind the scenes, far from the spotlight, quietly, patiently, intentionally, shaping every detail, crafting a masterpiece he is about to unveil. As Ecclesiastes 3:11 proclaims, he has made everything beautiful in its time. And your time, your appointed radiant time is coming. and it will be more glorious than anything you dared to imagine. Now, the person God is sending your way, this stranger, they may not look like the hero you pictured. They may not speak with the eloquence you expected. They may not arrive with grandeur or applause, but something in this moment will feel undeniable. A spark in their eyes, a weight in their presence, a divine pull that will whisper deep within your spirit. This is no ordinary encounter. This is a God-ordained meeting, a sacred intersection of two destinies. For this stranger, this vessel was blessed not just for themselves, but to be a blessing to others. They were lifted so they could lift others. And you, precious one, are part of their divine assignment. As Genesis 12:2 reminds us, God told Abraham, "I will bless you, and you will be a blessing." This person's success, their resources, their influence, they don't belong to them alone. They are divine tools designed to transform your life. Very soon, doors no man can shut will swing wide before you. Just as Revelation 3:8 declares, "I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." Opportunities you once thought were far beyond your reach will come to you without striving. People of influence, people with connections and resources you never imagined having access to, they will begin appearing on your path, drawn by the unseen hand of God. But listen closely. There's one more truth you must hold tightly. A vital key, the difference between receiving the blessing and missing it altogether. It's not enough to simply be in the right place. You must also be ready to recognize the door when it opens. Your heart must be prepared. Your spirit must be attuned to the voice of God. Because what's coming next will change everything. So, stay with me, because I'm about to show you how to stand ready, how to step fully into the miracle that's been prepared for you. Lift your eyes, beloved. Fix your heart on the God who orders your steps, and boldly declare, "I am ready for the doors God is opening for me." This is your season, your divine appointment, your moment to see the unshakable faithfulness of the one who has never forgotten you. Trust Him, because the same God who brought you this far is now ready to show you wonders. Wonders so personal, so powerful, they will leave you breathless in awe of His love. And remember this final truth: obedience is the master key, the sacred act that unlocks doors no man can open. This is the kind of obedience that stirs the invisible realms, that releases blessings so profound they defy human understanding. Every choice you made in secret, every sacrifice you offered when no one was watching, every time you poured out your heart without expecting applause, God saw it all, and He recorded every moment in the ledgers of heaven. The times you chose His way over your own, the moments you stood firm in faith, even when it cost you, the quiet whispers of "Yes, Lord," while the world shouted no, they were not in vain. They were laying down something eternal, something sacred, something glorious. And now, my friend, the time of manifestation has come. The season has arrived, when the seeds of your obedience will burst into bloom, unfolding a harvest so breathtaking it will leave you in awe. You may not have seen it then. You may have wondered why the trials came, why the road felt so steep, why the nights were so long. But every single act of obedience, every step taken in faith, every time you chose truth over lies, integrity over convenience, it was preparing the foundation for a divine shift. Just like Abraham, who left everything familiar, not knowing where God would lead. Like Moses, who stood before Pharaoh when the odds were impossible. Like Peter, who dropped his nets without hesitation to follow the Messiah. You too have made the hard choices, the faithful choices, before ever seeing the fulfillment of the promise. As Jesus said in John 14:23, "Anyone who loves me will obey my teaching. My Father will love them, and we will come to them and make our home with them." Your obedience has drawn the presence of God to you, and now He is moving not just to bless you, but to relocate you, to elevate you, to position you for a new level of purpose and destiny. This is not just a minor adjustment. This is a divine transformation, a reordering of your life, your relationships, your opportunities. So take a look around. Can you feel it? Things that once seemed stable are shifting. Connections you thought were permanent are fading. And circumstances that once felt secure now feel uncertain. This is not chaos. This is not coincidence. This is the hand of God, moving with precision, clearing the way for your promotion. When God calls you to a new level, you cannot bring the baggage of your past with you. Some doors must close. Some ties must loosen. Some seasons must come to an end. Do not cling to what God is asking you to release. Do not resist the changes He is divinely orchestrating. Do not fight to hold on to what He has already marked for removal. As Isaiah 43:19 declares, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? This is not a loss. It is a gain. It is not punishment, but reward. Not a setback, but a divine step upward into the fullness of His perfect plan." And very soon you will begin to see the signs. At first, they may appear small, like the faint whispers of a coming dawn. New faces entering your life. Unfamiliar paths presenting themselves. A quiet stirring in your spirit. The undeniable sense that something extraordinary is approaching. But when the moment comes, it will not unfold slowly. It will come suddenly. It will be transformative. It will take your breath away. A single decision, a pivotal moment of faith will rise before you. And in that instant, you will choose, will you embrace this blessing God has prepared for you? Or will you let it pass by unclaimed? You must be ready. Your heart, open your spirit, tune to recognize the door when God flings it wide. Revelation 3:8 declares, "I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." That door is coming, and when it does, it will lead you into opportunities, connections, and blessings you never dared to dream were possible. So listen closely, because what I am about to tell you could change everything. When God moves, He doesn't tiptoe. He doesn't whisper. He moves in power, in glory, in splendor that silences every doubt and leaves the world in awe. Oh, beloved, the blessing that's on its way to you is not small. It's not just a step forward. It's a divine upheaval, a sweeping shift that will rewrite the story of your life. It will lift you into a new realm, a new position, a new environment where the glory of God shines through you like a beacon piercing the night. For so long, God has been working quietly, shaping your heart in the hidden places, forming your character through adversity, teaching you lessons only those truly chosen can understand. He's been strengthening you when no one else saw the weight you carried. But now, it all makes sense. Every trial, every tear, every act of faith was preparation for this moment. You stand on the edge of a divine encounter, a sudden breathtaking move of heaven that will shift your destiny in an instant. This is not a slow unfolding. This is a sudden divine surprise, like Joseph, who went from a prison cell to Pharaoh's palace in a single night. Like Esther, an orphaned girl raised up to queen. Like Job, who after losing everything saw God restore twice what was taken in one miraculous turn. As Ephesians 3:20 promises, God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we ask or imagine, according to the power at work within us. When God blesses, He doesn't follow human timelines or standards. He moves according to His eternal plan, His boundless grace, His purpose formed before time began. So don't be shaken if things still look unclear. Don't lose heart if life hasn't made sense yet. Don't let uncertainty blind you. God often moves in the 11th hour when the situation seems impossible, just so His glory shines through your story without question. This divine relocation, this elevation, it's not just about you. It's part of something far greater, a sacred mission that will reach through your life and touch the lives of others. When God lifts you, it's not just for your benefit. He's making you a vessel of His light, a channel of hope, a living testimony to His power in this generation. You are being raised to bring hope where there is despair, to shine light where darkness has lingered, to prove that the God of miracles is still very much at work today. As Genesis 12:2 declares, I will bless you, and you will be a blessing. Your promotion will carry favor, provision, and divine influence not just for you, but for those God has called you to reach. Souls are waiting to see His faithfulness through your life. But don't be surprised if not everyone understands. Some will question why you. Others will try to minimize what's happening. But you must not pause to explain. Don't waste your breath trying to convince those who were never meant to understand. When God chooses to bless, He asks no one's permission. Soon the signs will appear. People who once overlooked you will begin to notice. Doors that had long been bolted shut will swing open without your effort. Opportunities you once believed were out of reach will rise before you sent directly by the hand of God. As Isaiah 61 declares, Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Your moment is near, and it will be glorious. But here's the key, beloved. When the blessing arrives, when the divine surprise finally breaks forth, you must be ready. Your heart must be prepared. Your spirit must be attuned to hear God's voice whispering, Now is the time. This is the moment. Step into it. Because what happens next will change everything. Right now, this very moment, a movement has already begun. Invisible to the human eye, but fully alive in the courts of heaven. The decree has been issued. The order has been released. And as Numbers 23:19 reminds us, God is not a man that He should lie. Does He speak and then not act? Does He promise and not fulfill? What God has spoken over you, no one can block. No power can reverse. No force can override. So stand tall. Lift your heart in bold faith and declare, I am prepared for the miracle God has decreed for me. This is your season, your divine moment, the time to step into the fullness of His promise. The same God who led you through the fire is now guiding you into a land of abundance. And the world will bear witness to this truth. The one you serve is faithful beyond all measure. Even now, a divine plan is unfolding, orchestrated by the hand of the Almighty. He's guiding someone you've never met, who knows nothing of your tears, your trials, or the weight of your journey straight to your doorstep. This is not coincidence, not fate, not chance. It is the deliberate sovereign work of a God who has counted every step, seen every sacrifice, and remembered every act of faith, even when the world wasn't watching. Your obedience has positioned you. Your endurance has prepared you. And now the door is opening. Your trust in God, even when the storms raged around you, has been your anchor. And now the reward long stored up in heaven is rushing toward you like a mighty river, ready to overflow the banks of your life with His abundant goodness. So when this blessing arrives, don't be afraid. Don't shrink back in doubt, wondering if it's too grand, too glorious, too far beyond anything you dared to imagine. Because it is. It's bigger than your plans, your dreams, your understanding. Because it's not the work of human hands. This is the fulfillment of a prophetic word spoken over your life, before your first breath, now bursting forth in radiant glory and perfect timing. As Jeremiah 29:11 declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope." This is no small shift, no incremental progress. This is a divine relocation, an unmistakable leap into the fullness of your God-ordained purpose. It's an expansion of your territory that will usher you into a new realm of favor, influence, and destiny. So lift your head, square your shoulders, fix your eyes on the horizon. For something glorious, something miraculous, something utterly impossible by human standards is about to break forth in your life. The trials that tested your strength, the tears that soaked your pillow in the silence of night, the sacrifices you made when no one was watching, every one of them was part of God's divine blueprint. They weren't wasted. They were preparing you, shaping you for this very moment of divine promotion. What you endured wasn't for nothing. Heaven counted every step, recorded every act of faith, and now the time has come for God to repay it with a blessing so overwhelming, so undeniable, it will silence every doubt and declare to the world that the God you serve is faithful. As Psalm 35 promises, "Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning." Your morning is here. The joy of God's promise is about to flood into your life, like light breaking through after a long storm. So speak it with courage. Declare it aloud. Write it in the comments. Proclaim it over your life, "I am ready." This is not just a phrase, it is a sacred declaration. A bold signal that your spirit has come into alignment with heaven's timing, that you've caught the vision of what God is unfolding. The question isn't if the blessing is coming. God's promises are as sure as the sunrise. The only question is, will you be ready to receive it? Will you stand with open hands and an open heart when God whispers, "Now is the time"? Because when He moves with power, with purpose, with a glory so breathtaking it will leave the world in awe and your life forever changed. Stand firm, beloved. The same God who brought you this far is faithful to finish what He started. As Philippians 1:5 and 1:6 reminds us, He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. The blessing is already in motion. The promise is unfolding piece by piece, moment by moment, and no force in heaven or on earth can stop it. So declare it once more with boldness and faith. "I am ready for the miracle God has prepared for me." This is your hour, your divine appointment, your sacred moment to step fully into the radiance of His glory. And when you do, the world will bear witness. They will see without question that the God you serve is mighty faithful and forever true.